Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As promised, I'm back with you again. And thank you so much for staying tuned with us. This is Heritage TV, your very own station, and is hanging out with Vicky. Um, Today, we've got a special guest with us. Her name is Sally Ann. She's here to educate us on parenting. I think, time and time and again, we need to remind ourselves, we need to, encourage ourselves. So, talking about parenting is a topic that I believe will help a lot of fathers and mothers in their children's upbringing. Um, Let me introduce her to you. Sally Ann, are you there?
Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi,
Yes.
Sally.
Hi.
Yes.
Hello.
Nice, nice, nice to see you finally. Such a busy woman.
Finally. Oh,
Finally.
it's about to go down.
Exactly,
Thank you.
exactly.
Thank you.
And I like the swag.
Mommy, to God be the glory. And you're looking well as well. Thank you, Vicky. Yeah.
Yes. So, Sally, I know you're a very busy
I
person, but people would like to know who is Sally Ann. Just a little bit about yourself so that we know who you are.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon,
Sally,
listeners.
and don't take anything out because I know who you are.
No, in certain circumstances or certain situations, you just have to be, that yes, I wouldn't spill the beans. I would just go ahead and hang out with Vicky. Good afternoon,
Okay.
audience. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to the producers, Mr. Ade. Fantastic job, and good afternoon to Vicky. Well,
Thank
a
you.
very good afternoon. I'm Sally and Sam, the original one. And I must say that I'm an entrepreneur. I'm into fashion and studying to be a counselor, if I may say so. I'm in my level three of studying to be a counselor, and hopefully, I will come out by the end of May next year. Then I will be a qualified counselor. So that is Sally and Sam. Thank you.
Okay. So when you pass out as a counselor, can you promise me, in the presence of my viewers and my producers and directors that you will be coming on our program, regularly to counsel us, give us some
Very
tips?
definitely, definitely, because I believe in something. I believe in the word of God and the promises of God are yea and amen. And the little ones, the small things that you start with, they are the ones that you do not have to forget. And I must tell you that, Vicky, thank you for bringing me on like that. I normally do my program on Facebook.
On
I wouldn't say
Facebook,
I'm
yeah.
I have got my followers and audience as well. But to come on Heritage TV, it is the grace of God and it's the beginning of something. So, everything we live it out, but I do promise when everything is settled
Mm,
down, I will team and I will appreciate to be part of this team and so that we can help our community.
wonderful.
Whatever
Yeah,
we've got, we can also do it to help the youth that are coming out. So it must say
wonderful.
yes, 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 yes. Thank you.
Wonderful. That's
Yeah.
good to hear. We will take your word. And I know you are a very good cook as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah, nearly for you know what? In fact, staying out, I've sort of like people have come on my program and I was okay. And one friend said, Sally, I couldn't talk. And I said, no, but I'm now feeling the heat. It's not easy to be in
Oh,
the hot seat. So it's
mm,
not easy. Yes,
mm.
I cook. I'm a typical Fanti Ghanaian proud Western rated woman, with the westernized and we must say that that's where our region is where the white came to settle. So when it
Mm,
comes to food, we are the best. So yes, I am a
mm,
cook. Thank you for that.
mm,
Yeah,
mm.
in our authentic,
Wonderful.
in our
Wonderful.
authentic food. Yeah, thank you, Vicky.
Okay. All right. Okay. And also for viewers, I like to put up a disclaimer that whatever is being discussed here is just for guidance, and for information purposes. If you whatever we've discussed, you really um need more information on it, or there's something that you do not understand, we would advise that you see a specialist, a professional, for advice. What we are doing today is, as parents, as mothers, um, the little education that we can give to fellow mothers and parents, in their children's upbringing. So this is a platform, but please don't hold us when there's something you don't understand or you disagree with us. We will advise that you seek professional help. Right, Sal. Someone may ask, who is a good parent? One thing, people keep saying that there are parents who are not good parents. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, what is
Mhm.
everybody born a good parent, provided you've had children? Does that make you a good parent? Who is a good parent?
Well, thank you for that, Vicky. A good parent, I must say. Well, we all born to. We have got our strength, and I've got the children and my daughter-in-laws passing by. Yeah, so I've got children in the home, and I wouldn't say that.
Uh,
Yeah, a mother is a mother. I must say that, we were all created in God's image with our strength. And that was why when Eve sinned, even though it wasn't part of creation, but what happened was when Eve sinned, I'm not going into that, but we always need the Bible. As Vicky said, all that we're saying is the guidance. We are not expert yet, we are not a professionals, but we're talking from experience, and we all know that
hmm,
experience is the best teacher. So I would say, as a good mother, when Eve sinned, it was said unto her that yes, you will go into labor and you will suffer, through the process of having a child, but you soon forget
mhm,
about it and then you move on in life. So that's why it's not a curse, but it was something that has been pronounced on women. That the minute you take seed, and God said that He told Abraham that you will be the father of nations and you will multiply. If you look up at the stars and the sand, meaning you will multiply. And as descendants of Abraham, we're taking on the promises. So yes, we will come in the world to produce, and that is what a woman does. Once we take the seed, it's an instinct. Ebenya abodai. Sorry, I have to bring in the local language, but the mother instinct will be there. So I would say that out of 100% as a woman, if it's not, it's quite abnormal when somebody is not well, when they've got the traces of psychological problems, mental. That is where you would say that a mother is not a good mother, but or a parent. But even the mad woman that we see on the street of Africa, the typical African woman, a mad woman that we think is mad, would not even let you play around her babies. Even in animals, if you look at them, they've got that instinct that once they have a baby, they're so protective. So, as a mother, we are good mothers. Though, like I said, there may be the 1 or 2% that may be with psychological problems that we might say to us wouldn't be. But I think 90%, 95% of women will end up being a good mother, if I'm right. Thank you.
okay. All right. So, how about the men?
Wow, men. I know men, like I said in the beginning, it's something that have been placed on us to produce, and the instinct will be there. Men have got their own responsibility that they have to, they will put in us and we will bring it out. So equally as the women are, so is the men. But there are differentiators. There are differences. A mother will always be a mother. That's why we not the norm. It's common to see a single mother, and quite not normal to see a single father. So the men may also be equally good, but in my state, in my experience, fathers cannot be compared to mothers. So if on the ratio, it could be about 90% for women and about 60, 70 for men. Thank you.
Whoa, some men will not be happy with this.
Yeah, if you're a good parent, you'll be happy. You will know what I'm talking about.
You
When
know
I
what
was a
you're
good
talking about.
parent, yeah, I have been through it. Yeah.
Mm, 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 mm. Right. So we're trying to link, being a good parent with the upbringing of our children. The next thing I wanted to find out from you is how do you treat each child according to their personality? Because sometimes it gets to a point where the children start making certain comments regarding the way you treat each of them,
Thank you
to
for
the
that.
extent that
Thank
they
you.
might say that you favor one child more than the other.
Very good. Well, Vicky, thank you very much for that. I have treated this topic before.
Okay.
Rivalry in siblings. Yeah, I have done this. I
All
think
right.
I discussed that about in 2017, and it really, really did go well. I had questions come in, and like you're saying, every child, we're all different. We all come from the same womb. We're all siblings, but we all have our unique personalities. Like I said earlier, we've got our strength and we've got our weaknesses. As a parent, it's our duty to notice what our the children's strengths are. And first of all, I would say that as a parent, it comes with communication. That is the foremost thing. That is the first thing that we have to. I'm a typical African woman. Um, Based on when I was growing up, I had that typical fancy training from my mom that you do not
Okay.
speak back, you talk back. You learn from the kitchen, you learn from your elders, your siblings, the eldest ones. You give them that due respect in any way. So it's sort of like I took it on board and brought it on the children. And I realized that it wasn't that it did go well, but at the time, everything is 50-50. You have to balance things. I realized that even though I had a children here, it was certain you don't talk back. Listen to what mom says. Do what mom says. Do this. And I did that, and I realized that as the children were growing up, they did not rebel. But at the time, when they talked back, I realized that no, this is not what it's supposed to be. So I sat down
Mm,
and watched the situation and realized that everybody was different. I've got twins. I've got the elder boy, the twins, and the little one. And I realized that with the twin boy, he never talks back. So I sort of like turned my attention to him, whereas the twin girl was very quiet but was observant. So I treated them differently, accordingly. And to me, as a mother, like I said, you will never love one and not love the other. But in the eye of the children, they would think that, oh, mommy prefers this one.
yes.
But yes, in the eye of them, because they think that, oh, maybe child A did something and mom didn't query, or mom didn't sort of like, or what you didn't do well, and then the child B with. But don't forget that children also plays us up. We may think they are children, but they are very smart and they use our weakness. A child would throw tantrums outside, testing your pulse to see what you would do. Whereas you wouldn't do that at home. So, as a mother, if you've gone out, you've got a child throw tantrums and you do not do anything, that's when you come and you say, hey, you see, now I'm in my own territory. And then you smack it, which as parents we do. So then this child will think, oh, mom doesn't like me. But it's not like that. Mothers, we love our children. But we have to act accordingly. We do not have to let them play on our intelligence. So we have to treat them. But I think that with the rivalry siblings, it's everywhere. It is everywhere. So as parents, we should know our children more and deal accordingly with them. I remember when my child, the twins, were growing up. I had this quality in me that I knew I should have done it. Like I said, back home we looked on the professions. Oh, grow up to be a lawyer. Oh, grow up to be a doctor. Grow up to be an accountant. Whereas this
Mm-hmm.
child that we are telling them, they may have a skillful job that we do not encourage them. One may be a plumber, one may be a caterer, one may be a hairdresser, but we do not look over. We sort of like brush them aside and put our what as mothers we desire on the children. I realized that I'm somebody that I could have been a designer by now because I was very
Okay.
creative. when it comes to fashion.
Okay.
But who are
Mm.
you to tell your mom, I want to go and be a dressmaker? They'll put you off. So when I grew up and I realized that I could be rolling in money, so I always say that. So I made it that when the children grow up, I will also put my voice in what they want to do. So I did look at the boy and knew that he was very good with the electricals. When they were growing up, if anything is faulty with the television, with the for anything
Okay.
electrical, he could do it.
Mm. Mm.
So
Mm.
I
Mm.
decided that I would
Mm.
put him into an apprenticeship. And we know how it fetches here. And for the girl, yes, she will go to university, pull my brain, push her with all that I can. And I must say that it's worked really well. He's only 19, but he's now a plumber, in apprenticeship and heating. And I tell you, every Saturdays he get private jobs
Wow.
to go and do, and he's earning his own money. And the twin girl is in university. So as parents, we should not overlook we should give them, allow them, and we should also instill in them. And that is where, as mothers, when we are growing, because the fathers will be there, but it's all up to the mothers. We know them because we take them to school. Some fathers are very good, I must say. They go for the parental evening, so they know what is going on. But on my side, as a mother, I would say the mothers, please look into your children once they're growing up. Look at their strength, put your eye on them, and know what they can do. And I tell you what we thought that it's only the professionals can earn. I tell you, a plumber, we know it. A plumber, those skill
Oh,
for a
yes.
carpenter,
Lots of
they've got the
money.
money.
Yeah.
That is it. Your parents, we should look into it, and not allow rivalry siblings. Rivalry in siblings, it's normal. It's not that they hate themselves, but as a mother, you sit down and then look at them, and I tell you, the love is there. So we shouldn't overlook
Mm.
as well. Rivalry in siblings, it's normal. Thank you very much.
Mm. 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 But Sally, do we have to explain to the other siblings that the reason why I'm treating child A differently from child B, um, just explaining to them your reasons for the way you treat one. You see, what happens is that what I've noticed, the sensitive one, it turns out to be the parents concentrates more on the sensitive one, and the one that is loud, you go like, oh, that child is cool, she can sort herself out, that kind of thing. Then in the end, the one that is outgoing and the extrovert will feel, why is it that when child A does this, it's different the way you want to protect him, different the way you treat this child? How do we go about? Do we have to explain to the other children the way you treating one from the rest?
That's what I said earlier. What they play on our intelligence. The smart
Mm,
one will always play the victim, that oh mommy did that, whereas she knows what she's done. And you don't forget that they may not all be equal. For somebody may not. I have a friend, she's got two children, well, she's got three, but two girls, and the youngest doesn't smile. So I always
okay.
use, why doesn't your daughter smile? And she says that, oh, she was like me when I was growing up. I never, not that I never slept, but I was the intro, like you said. So the
Introvert.
bigger one, yeah, the introvert. So the bigger girl always, sort of like bullies her, and she tries to protect her. But then the big one says, "Oh, mommy, you doing this to the younger one. You sort of like protecting it." But I have been in their home. I'm training to be a counselor, so I have to look at things wherever I go. And I visited them a few weeks ago in their home, and I realized that the bigger one was using her influence over the younger one. And she does it
Oh.
when yes, she does it when the mom is not around. She sort of like shows
Mm,
the younger one around, sort of like mommy prefers you, but mom doesn't prefer the younger one. Mom was protecting her because she's the quiet type. So the bigger one was always telling mom, you favor the little one over me. But when I went to the home, the mom wasn't there and I was in the living room and I could hear from the room, she was sort of like shouting on the little one, bullying her around, intimidating her. So I said, children are smart. Mothers, we know the game. We know the game. They will try to play us. Unless on the other side, yes, there are mothers with a soft touch. Every mother has got the soft button that you can press on. For
Mm,
example, you've got four children, you've got four children, child A, B, C, and D. And when you send a child A, the child goes. Even in the
mm,
Bible, it says that God knows us, And if we send B, the B will say, "Okay, mommy, I'll go in about 2 minutes," and then he goes.
mm.
Meanwhile, send child A to get you a cup of tea, and child A is done it. Whereas if you tell
Yeah.
child B, "Oh, can you get me?" Oh, child B says, "Okay, mommy." Out of them two, let's take you've got two children. Out of them
Mm.
two, not that you will prefer the other more, but you've got, child A, you send the child A goes, whereas child B will sort of like, or even not go at all. What do you do as a mom? You
It's
love
true.
them, but if a
It's
child
true.
A comes to know, "Mom, my trainers is worn out," you do it because you know that child A has got that tendency that will be there for you.
Exactly.
So parents, we do not, we do not sort of like pick and
Mm,
choose.
mm.
We
Pick and
love them
choose.
as God love. Yeah, we do not pick and choose. But it can happen. I've got on the other side. I've got a friend whose elder sister is not on talking terms with the mom because right from childhood, like we're
Oh,
talking about. Yes, right, not from childhood. I would say, well, childhood, adulthood. When she started going out, she was doing things that the mom didn't like. Whereas the younger sister, that is my friend, was that she would do it, but wouldn't rub it right in front of moms.
in front of a
So
mom.
yeah, she wouldn't rub it in front of a mom, even though she was not equally good. But she thought, no, I have to respect my mom. Whereas her elder sister was sort of like doing all because she had
Doing
the
whatever.
backing,
Yeah.
yeah, of her dad. And it's about 10, 12 years now. The sister doesn't talk to the mom because the sister feels that or thinks that mom prefers my
Mom
friend.
doesn't like. Yeah.
No, yeah, but it is not
Mm,
like that.
mm,
Mothers will
mm,
love our
mm,
children. Parents
mm,
listening to
mm,
me love
mm,
our
mm,
children. But
mm, mm,
children, the voice, train up a child in the way that when they grow, they will not depart from it.
yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
that we sort of
Mm,
like, we do,
mm,
like I said,
mm,
we don't
mm,
pick and choose,
mm,
but we also go
mm, mm.
accordingly. We have to discipline them. And I tell you what, those that are stubborn, they always play the victim. But on the whole, one thing I've also decided or I learned was once a month, no, every 3, every quarter, we sit down and then we talk. And I spoke to a friend yesterday about that. He's a parent as well, and said, "Sally, that is very true. Sit around with the children and let them air their feelings. Like you're saying, one would think that, oh, mom doesn't like me. So once every quarter, like a Saturday out, if you do not go out, you stay at home, round the table, and, put on the
Mm.
phone, create an environment that will be at ease with everybody, and then let the children also. That is where we mothers we can also learn our mistake. For all you know, we've done something, we've also done a mistake that we do not know. So through that, the
Mm.
children can also let us know. Yeah, so that's another way
That's great.
of
That's
letting
great.
children
Yeah,
tell us.
Sally.
Yeah.
Well said. Now, does being a good parent mean buying whatever your children need, or just doing everything that they ask you for? Does that make you a good
No, you don't.
parent?
Oh, a good parent is making sure that the house is in order. A good
Yeah.
parent makes sure that the children are fed, the three basic things we know in life. The children are accommodated, they are
Yeah.
clothed, and they've got food at home. This is the best thing that parents we can have. But like I said,
Mm.
there will always be the black sheep. There will always be the child in the home that would try to make you feel that, oh, mom is not doing all, or the fact that maybe I asked mom, okay, let's say that mom is on a budget, mom is on a budget, and then a child comes and say, "Mom, I've seen this dress. It's about 150 quid. Buy it for me." If the money is there, mom will buy it. But if the finances or whatever is and tells, okay, I cannot afford the 150 pounds, but I can afford the 70 pounds one. So can I get you the 71? A good child will say, okay, mommy, well, it's better than nothing. So give it to me.
Exactly.
So the
Exactly.
fact that mom couldn't provide for what you wanted or mom couldn't give you doesn't make mom or dad a bad parent. Like I said, we are good parents. Unless there's a problem within that, parents can also neglect. I'm not saying that at all, but parents can also sometimes bend the curve, and then go out, neglection comes in. So when there is neglection, that is where, or being neglected, that is where we can also, when good moms or when good parent tends to be the bad parent. So being a good
mm,
parent means provide everything, but it's not everything that
mm,
you also have to give up once they've demanded it. No, no.
Because my take on this is sometimes parents just want to be in the good books of their children, so just shower them with whatever they need, and overlooking what the training you have to give your child, like giving the child that routine. You wake up in the morning, you make sure after brushing your teeth, whatever, make sure you make your bed. After making your bed, making them responsible, getting involved with house chores, because in the end, when they leave you and they are on their own, they should be able to organize their lives,
Yeah,
properly.
themselves,
Do you get what I'm saying? But there are children
yeah.
out there who even don't know how to make their bed. What went wrong?
Right. Yeah, that's what
you
I'm
know
saying. That it's the
and they
fact
have
that you
parents.
providing everything. It's the fact that some were born with silver spoons in their mouth, and others too. They say the saying says that they were born with a stick in their mouth or in their hands. Being a good parent is not necessarily meaning showering them with gift. If you have it, yes, they are good parent or they are parent that can shower their children or everything, but yet are disciplined. A boom that, do you know that, oh, this child is from a good home. From a good
Yeah,
home means they are
yeah,
rich, they've got everything, education is there, discipline is there, so you can know. So how can you be a good parent whilst you've given them everything and the child cannot, do their best? What is the
mm,
meaning? What is the meaning as a good parent that you've shown them everything and you don't even follow up with their education? So being a good parent is, I think, it's rather the opposite of giving
the
everything. Like you
opposite.
said, yeah, it's rather a good parent is communicating well with the children, facing up with their needs, being in their shoes, coming down to their level. The fact that I may not have money, but I tell you, there are single parents or their parent who did not have nothing, had to do three or four, five jobs, and yet all the five children or four children went to university. Most of them, out of the four children, two are doctors, one is a lawyer, one is has his own company. That makes a good company. For all you know, these children did not have the things, all
The
that. Yeah,
luxury.
you have to pay, yeah, the luxury of it, but yet their moms have good get. So a good parent is, really looking after the home, not only dashing out with the technologies, with the a smartphone. You just give them because you have to give them, but once it's given, your heart should also go out with that. Don't just give and give because, oh, I'm only pleasing the children. That's why our children, some of them have now jumped on our shoulders. Just some of the children feel that they have the right to talk back because the discipline wasn't there. And I think it's a way backwards that we're suffering from the children that we are raising up here. I believe we
Yeah,
should bring in that discipline. And then once we discipline them, we will love them and they will come out successfully.
yeah. Sally, in your comments, giving us guidance on how we should bring our children. No, I mean, being a very good parent as relation to, setting up guidelines, making sure you provide, and the list goes on and on. You made mention of coming down to the children's level, right? When you made that comment, something has come to mind, which is a very big debate among parents and mothers. How, can a parent make a child a friend? Where does the difference, does the line comes in? Parent, friend. Because sometimes you realize that when you try to come down to their level, they interact with you as a friend. And if you don't take care, they might cross the line, not giving you the respect as a parent. One, can you make your child your friend? And how do you draw the line between being a friend and a parent? It's like being in two personalities. 1 minute you are like, hey, excuse me, you can't talk to me like that. Then the next minute, hi, you doing? How are you doing? What are you watching? Yeah, 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 I like that guy. Yeah, 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 that's cool. Oh, that music. Then you'll be trying to, flow with them on their level. As I'm
Like
speaking to
that.
you now, as I'm talking to you, my daughter is watching me laughing
Mhm.
because we have the
Uh-huh.
same discussion.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That is very, very true. You know what? Vicky, thank you for what you just said. It did come up one day when I was talking about parenting and had a social friend. Normally, the research we do not only with the books we read, but we also ask for those that in the profession as a social worker. So I did ask a friend about parenting, about what you just said about being coming down to their level. First of all, with our children, once we have their trust, the fact that you come to their level as a friend doesn't mean that you have to just let go of you. That same things
Right.
as a parent, no matter what, you are older than your daughter, you are older than your child, you
Mm.
may have wisdom than them. So coming down to their level as being as a friend, so that your daughter or your son can gain that trust, so they can gain that trust and confide in you. If not, then
Yeah.
those outside, they will go outside there and then do what they have to do. So coming down to their level is seeing them as your younger friend, your younger sister. You set the line, you set the boundary. Let them know. Even with their own friendship around with us, like Vicky, that I've known you, you know the other side of me, and you know the other side.
Yes.
At the time, we
Yes.
didn't want to step on the other side. Yes. So this is how people it should be. People say they say, hey, Sally is angry. I tell you what, they always say we the shop people, our
Exactly.
anger
I got.
obviously you just don't. Yeah. So you know where to come. Being friends with your children is the best thing. That's what one that this social worker that works with young adult or well children told me that there was this lady that had a problem, financial at home, and she confided in her daughter that mom is down. She can't afford the council tax bill, so
Okay.
mom. Yes, so as a mother, she thought she was relating to her daughter. During that period, it was exams time, and this in the exams room, the
Oh
girl
no.
could not concentrate and started crying. She was pulled out and said, well, because mom
No.
can't pay the bills. So this is what my friend said. That is it. That yes, it's you can be friends with your children, but you cannot tell them what you're going through. On the outside, they say, oh, mom is not good, things are not going well, but don't go down. In the end, the girl had to skip about 2 or 3 papers in her GCE, and that happened 2 years ago
Okay.
because mom told her. And as being a friend or being a child, she sort of like felt more of what mom said. She thought that, oh, mom can pay a council tax, and mom can be taken to court or jail. And this is what made her not concentrate. So mothers, yes, you can be
Ah,
friends with your children, but please draw the borderline. It's like having a friend and not playing your secret. No, you can't tell your friend everything you know. But on the other hand, be a friend with your child so that she can have your trust and confide in, oh, mommy, this the boy that I want. And mommy will say, okay, let me see. This is the type of things that we not luring them, but you know what, gaining their confidence. So as a mother, you cannot be as friends with your child as with your own co-equal, if I may say it so. What I would discuss with you, Vicky, I wouldn't discuss with my daughter. So mothers,
exactly.
we can be friends with our daughters, our children, especially the girls. In my situation, my twin girl is very, very quiet. Very, very quiet. She doesn't talk much. So I just left her. But I tell you what,
Okay.
just this morning, she's gone to uni just last year. She sort of like, I realized that, oh, she's just come out of her call. And then I spoke to her. She couldn't tell me much things because she thought that I was the wild mom. But just before
Ooh,
she
okay.
I was the wild mom, you can't tell mom that you got a boyfriend. Like I said earlier, I'm that typical African mother. So I realized that no, that thing wouldn't help me. That was back home. This is where we are. You do what the Romans do when you go to Rome. And I tell you what, since just barely before she went to uni, we are the best of friends. This morning
Oh,
she called me, Mom,
great.
and we spoke for over an hour. And I told her I was coming on this program. So on the other hand, we have to also attract them with the if we think, oh yes, like you said earlier, I do, and then the next minute, no, we should look on a level that we can come with them. We can tell them things, but not go deep into it so that they can also come. There is the case that you've told your daughter you can't pay your car. You think you're telling her, but it's as
Yes.
affected them. So we have to put on that balanced diet. I always call it a balanced diet.
Balance diet.
50-50. Be the mom, be the friend, but at the end of the day, don't also let go of your guard so that they can take advantage. So mothers, yes, and fathers, we should do it on the 50-50, basis. Yeah. Thank you for that.
And because, talking about being a friend and a parent at the same time, if you don't gain their trust, they will go out there and speak to friends, seek advice from friends. And those friends are not experienced as you, the mother. So the advice they might give to that child wouldn't help her at all.
Oh,
So yes, so when we try to be their friend, and I also believe that we shouldn't be too judgmental, because when you start judging them, they pull back because they feel, when I
that's
tell my mom what I'm going through
yeah,
at home, oh sorry, at
yeah.
school,
That's
she's
cool.
going to judge me that this or this and
Mm,
that. So we are very quick to judge. And I also
mm,
have observed, it's something that I also admit that I'm at fault, that parents from the Afro-Caribbean community, we tend to shout when it comes to discipline.
hey,
We think the shouting.
that one, I'm number one. Oh, oh, mom.
If we are not shouting, we are not, because we feel when shouting,
Something
it
was on
draws the child's
the
attention, it shakes the child,
attention.
make the child knows that, look, you really mean business.
Not at
I mean,
all.
typical example, just let me give you an example. Typical example, you want your child to stop what he or she is doing, then you go like with a low tone. Can you stop what you're doing? Stop it. Stop it. Now, when we drift to the Afro Caribbean, the African women trying to, tell the child not to stay. Hey, you, stop it now. I mean,
Or
you
else
can
you
see
see.
the difference, or else you see. You see, but we are being advised that the shouting too much also wouldn't help the child, and it might make the child timid, because shouting all the time will always make the child timid. So probably balancing it will really help. That is what I can
That
I
is
can
very
also
true.
say.
That is very, very true. That is very true. We've also come here. One thing that we should also learn as parents that once we've come abroad, we've stepped out of our comfort zone, we've stepped out of our traditional ways and moved
Hmm.
into a very westernized environment. We should also learn from them, and then that's why I always call it a balanced diet. We can use our
Hmm.
traditional upbringing and also mix it with here, and then that's where it blends. So, like we said, I'm number one. Hey, I wish anybody, even now, hey, because that was what we knew it's a way.
We
It's not
knew,
being
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
yeah, we
yeah,
know that
yeah,
once you shout,
yeah.
and when they are children, they will learn. But once they're growing up and
Mm,
feel
mm,
that why that will make them. It's like a hardened prisoner or a hardened criminal. The more you lash out, the more they come back. So in a
yeah.
way, we also have to sort of like tend to talk with our voice. Bring them down, sit them down, talk to them, let
Yeah,
them
eye
know.
contact, eye contact.
Yes,
Yeah.
eye contact. Let them know. And it's not the shouting. In fact, I've learned my lesson. It's not the shout. The shouting. Yeah, we shouted. The shouting there. We use it as,
Confession of a mom.
yes, we've always used that as a bait, like a toothless bull. We're always the toothless bull, go, 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 barking, but we couldn't bite. So shouting would help. We should learn to talk to them. And
Yeah.
children, I always say will always give back to what we give them. If you give them
Mm.
the shouting, you also get the shouting back.
Get
But
it
if you
back.
give them that more thing, it's whatever you give is what you want, you get. Sorry.
Mm,
So we
mm,
should
mm,
try
mm.
to give them in a way they will also be learning from us. Imagine a
Okay.
shouting woman, mother at home, is what the child will also go out and start shouting
Mm,
because she
mm,
thinks that
mm,
once
mm,
mom did it, it's right.
mm,
So
mm,
we shouldn't forget that whatever we give
mm.
is what we get from them. So the shouting
Okay.
there
Yeah.
and even the gossiping, they are saying traits that we shouldn't do. Thank you.
Mm. Yeah. So, Anne, now very sensitive topic: discipline. How do we discipline our children?
Well, that's a very good one. I was speaking to a friend yesterday, and he said, Sally, far discipline is far different from being strict. Being a disciplined father or a mother will bring results. And in fact, I'm not a disciplined person because I'm not.
Okay.
I would say I'm a mother, but I'm not a whole, cleaning person. Who is it? Hold on a minute.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. No problem. All right.
Sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking about parenting. We also, you know, discuss who a good parent is. How do we treat each child according to
Oh,
their
I'm back.
personality? And, we are now on, disciplining our children. How do we discipline our children? And I've got with me
Right.
Sally and Sam, and she's here with us. She's a mom, and she's a motivational speaker. She's an entrepreneur, and she's also aspiring to be a counselor. Yes, she's back with us. Yes, Sal.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. So
Yeah.
with the discipline. Sorry about that. I've got a guest coming, and
Okay.
my friend that I was just talking about, she's here, and yes, being disciplined and strict is different ways. If you look at
Okay.
the army, they sort of like you discipline the child, like you were saying earlier, that when you wake up, you tell the child that brush your teeth, lay your bed, have your bread, even teaching them table
Breakfast.
manners, breakfast, so that they know. You have to iron your dress, your any dress you put on, you have to tuck in, go to school on time, come back home, even in school, go according to the rules, and then when you come home from school, where you put your things down, this we put that you are disciplining them, you putting them in order. It's different from being strict. Don't do that. Don't
Okay.
do that. Don't do that. So when you discipline the children, it will always be with them that, oh, I know that when I was growing up, I do not have to, do this. I know that I have to dress or lay my bed. So once you do that and you go home, you visit a friend, with our children, they go for sleepovers. The person that you visited will see a difference in your child that, oh, look at
Yeah.
this child. Once
Yeah.
she eats,
Yeah.
she goes to the kitchen,
Yeah.
cleans
Mm.
up, did that. So it is in a way, it's not you are not being strict, but you are being disciplined, putting things in
Mm.
order, teaching them good morals and values, so that when they grow up, they will also instill or wherever they are. I may tell you what, discipline your child. You may discipline your child, and she will go somewhere, and somebody will learn. Oh, you can go inside. Go inside, Fabi. Yeah, and then they will, people around them will learn from them. So as parents, it's part of a communication, and a discipline routine will always help our children come up. But we are not being strict. We
Okay.
will not shut.
Mm.
Yes, but
Mm.
doing them in
Okay.
the right manner, in the right
Mm.
path is what
Mm.
matters. Yeah.
Sally, I can see that you are getting, distracted. Let me just,
Yeah.
give you one last,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
question. Then
From
probably we will have you on again another time
again,
because
yeah.
this parenting thing is a very broad topic.
Very, very.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So quickly, we'll talk about, this question so that you can have time for your guests because our program got delayed a little bit, so I don't blame you for that interruption or distraction over there. How do you deal with a child who has chosen a particular path that you are not in support of? People from, I always say, because I'm also an Afro Caribbean woman, And we tend to always tell our children either you become a doctor, engineer, accountant, the list goes on, all office jobs. Now, your child, you've given a typical example whereby your child is very, talented in doing things with his son, electricals. You saw that at the very, early stages and decided to take him into apprenticeship, and he's thriving. Now, to all other African parents, how do we support our kids when they take a certain path that you initially wouldn't want the child to go, steer
In
towards that path?
Yes, as parents, one of our rules is to guide the children and protect them. It's one of the core values that every parent has to know or will have to learn. When we're starting, we spoke about looking having an eye on your children and also noticing what they can do, their strength and their weakness. Well, as mothers, we were all born with our destinies. We may
Yeah.
not know, but once the child is growing up and you say that, oh, I remember my son Fifi, he's a very good DJ. I remember when he was growing up, he could gather, the milk, the old milk tins, and put them around and get a stick and start sort of like being on them. So I
Creating
was
a
thinking that,
sound.
yeah, yeah, making a sound, and then he will get those that are crumpled and then shake them to make a very creative thing. And my mom said, hey, my son, my grandson will be a drummer. Oh, my grandson in the church, in the house of God. I remember. Now Fifi, my son, went to college. From college, went to university. He was into media. But I just pulled out and said, Mom, I want to be a DJ. I said, hey, what is DJ? You cannot be.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I tell you what, I just thought, okay, let me allow him to do it. And now, I don't know, those of you may know Diffie. He's won awards 3 times here in UK as the best Afrobeat, Ghanaian hip hop, whatever. And he goes on, just 2 weeks ago, he was in Germany for a wedding, and last week he was in Portugal. So we should also know that at the time that he was joining, this old milk tins, and drumming on and getting the sound, we didn't know, but he as a child knew, or for all he knew, but he didn't even know anything. But as we parents, we guide, and my mom said, oh, he'll be a musician in the house of God. We thought, oh, who is a musician? Oh, he's a drummer. But now, when we allowed him to do, yeah, he's the one coming in. Yeah. DJ Fifi, can you come and say something, please? Yeah, so he's here. And then now he's
Yeah.
going to be one of the finest DJs. So as a parent, we should also look in at what our children can do. Yeah, we should also look at what our children can do and encourage them. For all you know, I talked to Fifi. For all you know, we may think he wants to be a doctor. Yes, he may start it. I know one lady, a friend of mine, whose daughter went to uni. The girl couldn't. In the first year, she wanted to pull up. Mom said, no, you have to go. You have to do what you have to do. In the end, she's now working in one of these baiting shops. She couldn't do it. She told mom, I
Okay.
can't. Mom says, I can't do it. So at the time, moms, are you ready to go? Yeah, at the time, mothers, we should study what our children can do. And also, if we have interest in their education, we will know. We force some of them to be what label says, oh, doctor, medicinal. No, but look at the child, have an interest, and know that the child can do what they can do. And I tell you what, if we allow them and also sit them down, it's 50-50. Mothers, we may think that, oh, we want our doctors, our children to be that. But the child may also have her own mind, her own integrity. In school, I know one lady that was, when we were in school, I went to a girls' school. She used to braid, those days she used to do the clean roll and whatever. Yeah, that is Fifi. Yeah, he doesn't want to fish. Come and say hello and give a word. Yeah. We were like, oh, she's only a hairdresser. I tell you what, she didn't do well in GCSE, even in school.
Okay.
Excuse me to you. I'm only using it as an example, not because of
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now in
Yeah.
America, she might, even when we were home after school, that kind hair, she was very good with kind of hair. Everybody, most everybody was going to her. Oh, have you heard this lady in Medina? She cut hair,
Wow.
those days, the bulb, everything. And now speaking, she has her own shop in California. She's partnered with Johnson, this hair brand,
Oh,
Johnson and
okay.
Johnson, whatever. She hosts, she organizes showrooms, everything on behalf of this Black Beauty, whatever. She's
Yeah.
now big time hairdresser. But in school, we were sort of like mocking her because we thought we went to a school that has to produce whatever. So
Well,
parents, that
yes.
thing now place, let's look in at that their interest. We shouldn't just
Mm,
go boy what they think. If you may want her to be a doctor and she has the strength to be a hairdresser, you know what? Everything is changed now. We've got designers, we've got this. So parents, we should look in. Well, we can also step in to protect them. If their path, what they go is not right, we are also there to let them know that don't be what you cannot be. Do not follow your friend because your friend wants to be a doctor. Have you got the strength? Have
yeah.
you got the ability? Have
Yeah.
you got the calling? In a way, it's a calling to be a
Yeah.
doctor. Don't think, oh,
Yeah.
because you've gone to this private school, you have to be there. We were in school, we had people come from the elementary school and they were very good in geography. They
Yeah.
were very good in history, whereas we were not. So parents,
Yeah.
we shouldn't think about ourselves. We should sit them down, have an interest in what we do, and we can also encourage them to be what they want to be. Vicky, thank you.
Wonderful. On that
Yeah.
note, we will have to,
Oh,
end here. I know we've got so much to talk about. I've got
so
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 much,
much.
written down, and also
Yeah,
being a parent as well. I also put mine across. You
yeah,
also put
yeah, yeah.
yours on board as
Yeah.
well. I will have to leave you to attend to your guests, but
Oh,
definitely I would love to have you on again. You've been a blessing. In fact, what
oh,
we've
thank
discussed,
you.
and you've been very real with whatever you say, backing it
Yeah.
with real examples. Sometimes people feel shy away from, coming out to share their
Right, yeah.
experiences, but you didn't do that. You just came out, just poured everything out. You were so real, and we really appreciate it that,
Oh, thank you.
you just gave out your all to try and, help a parent who probably is not steering towards the right way. So, Sally Ann, thank you so much. We hope to see you again very, very, very soon. And take good care of
So,
yourselves. I'll definitely speak to you later. And I believe you're going to enjoy yourself with your guests. I hope they are only
oh,
six. Are they? Are they
sorry?
six in number? Are they six in number? Or I'm going to call, Boris Johnson.
No, 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 the four. No,
There
the
are four.
mom and two daughters, the
Good,
three. They are here.
good, good, good,
Yes,
good,
yes.
good.
Please don't
So
call
you are
Boris Johnson.
observing the, yeah. So
Oh,
you
we
are
are
observing the
very,
guidelines.
yes, definitely.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. On that note, take care of yourself. Send my regards to
Thank
your
you.
guests, and we'll see you
And to
later.
you as well.
Yeah.
And say
All right,
thank you to the
ladies and
producers
gents.
and directors
Thank
and
you. I
everybody.
will.
Thank
I
you.
will. I will. I will.
Thank
I will.
you.
So, ladies and
Cheers.
gentlemen, that is all time will allow us, on this program. It was about parenting. We've learned so much. I have also, learned a lot. I've shared my ideas. I've taken a lot from what Sally also said, and I believe that you've also taken one or two clues from it. And as I mentioned, if there's anything that you are concerned about, or you need in depth, information on whatever has been discussed, I would advise you to seek a professional advice. That would really help you a great deal. And thank you for staying with me throughout the program. I really appreciate it. I adore you. And I thank you so much for your support as well. Please share this program, share it to your friends, families, everyone that you have on your contact so that they will also, take something from what we have discussed. Take good care of yourself. Remember to observe all the government guidelines on COVID 19. Wash your hands thoroughly, observe the 1-2 meters distance, and always put on your nose mask when you're out and about. All right, thank you, and stay blessed, be good, stay safe. I'll see you next week, Saturday, same time. Love you all.